Hello everyone and welcome back. Very recently a new mod landed on the workshop, Northern Provinces Rework, the City of Smoke. And what this does is reworks MIAO YING to have some new mechanics in an effort to make her much more distinguished within the ranks of Grand Cathay, giving you a unique playstyle. We've already seen a mod for that for Zhao Ming, and the idea here is to get another mod for MIAO YING so you've got something new. So the main thing is starting a brand new campaign, and you're going to have access to some new buildings. It's going to be a bit of a slow grow, but it all kind of links up in a thematic sense, because this is going to focus around the defense of the Great Bastion alongside building up your capabilities with your gunpowder based units. As we know that MIAO YING, not only here but also in the old world, loves a bit of pew pew. Now don't you worry, this is all going to link up quite naturally to your campaign as it stands. You've got access to 2 new resources, so this is going to be kind of similar to that of the Chaos Dwarfs, just a little bit less. So you've got Imperial supplies, you'll get them from convoys, manufactured, and also for technology, spending them on building construction, the Storm Dragon's decrees, and upkeep, alongside Ordnance, which is manufactured, but is used on decrees, technology, and upkeep. There's quite a lot that actually goes into this. It's good to see some mods taking inspiration from the Chaos Dwarfs, one of the best DLCs that we've had for this title. So there's some other buildings which you won't be able to unlock later. These are the weapons merchants and also the supply depots. They're going to be using those resources to allow for quicker construction, just extra growth, or even getting some bonuses for units recruited in that area. Very useful when you're trying to defend the Great Bastion, as of course you're going to be dealing with the Chaos Dwarfs, Grimgor, Sail, and Village. Village being the most annoying one, actually. The best way to progress is making sure that you're sending out your caravans from the very beginning, and this is actually a good thing. It's integrating all the mechanics already available to Grand Cathay and just kind of expanding upon that there. Just make sure that you up the outgoing as much as possible because, yeah, sometimes even I forget. But all those supplies can be used with other stuff too. Like, for example, you've got some decrees that will pop up. So I'm just gonna be very quick to tell you here that sometimes it can take a while, or you'll need to click off and then click back on to get it. But these give you bonuses to specific areas. Right now can only be used on the Bastion or Nangao, but as you progress you can use it in other locations too, and having the extra push there for extra growth from the very beginning, just population surplus, very useful. You've also got access to the Storm Dragon's decrees, so these are bonuses that you can pick up for your armies, like for example resetting movement, or even completing all queued recruitment up, or getting some bonuses like flaming attacks. Like there's so much that you can do with this. I found it incredibly helpful because Cathay has so much in terms of mountains, especially in the center, that you want to be able to keep moving. And yes, you can also use this after you've taken a settlement. So if there's settlements nearby, which they can be kind of packed up in Grand Cathay, you can just settlement hop really fast, which helped me out when I was trying to get rid of Deathmaster Snickage, and then, some other Cathayans were going for it. It's like, dude, my settlements. And you have extra technology, so the Harmony section will remain as usual, but you've got City of Smoke, focused completely on her, which is Imperial Supplies, Ordnance, House of Smoke and Powder, House of Cog and Crane, House of Cloud and Flame, and finally Favored Daughter. These will be linked up to all your other stuff, meaning that you are going to progress, getting some more materials. The first one, by the way, the Peasants Production Line, is very useful if you're going to be building up the production buildings as they're tied to your campaign. And you're going to be able to get other bonuses, like reducing the upkeep of your gunpowder units, so you can keep that Great Bastion defended quite well. I really appreciate that, because lore-wise, that's what you can expect from MIAO YING, and it's kind of been presented that even further with the recent releases for the Old World, where we got the Iron Hell Gunners and the Crane Gunners. It's good to see that theming coming up, because it just is so important to keep the character quite consistent with what we know about her lore-wise. Now, when you build up the special building, which does require a tier 3 settlement in Nangao, you'll have access to a brand new sub-building, kind of similar to that of like the Deeps. Well, a bit smaller, but it's like your own cult. And this is going to allow you to just pick up not only the extra resources like ordnance, but get yourself some bonuses towards specific units during certain times, like when you've got Great Bastion threat up and running. It's all part of the theme, so you'll have more ammunition if there's higher threats, because you're going to need to stockpile and deal with the enemy forces attacking you. I like the implementation here. Sure, you have to spend 1 building slot for Nangar, which isn't really large as it stands as a city, but that does mean that you effectively get 3 extra building slots for a lot more bonuses coming down the line. So it is a good trade-off. Everything to do with Bastion fortifications really does help if you're trying to play in harder difficulties just to get your achievement. It's not broken in any way, shape, or form. It's just a little bit less of a slog if you're dealing with trying to defend the Bastion. I've seen a lot of players just kind of like leave it to other factions to defend, but eventually you're going to have to get up there. And yes, there are ways for you to nullify the chaos stuff if you want to push into the chaos waste themselves, but I feel like it's always better just to kind of let them do their own thing and fight amongst themselves. Just leave up some heroes at the Great Bastion like you used to do in vanilla for the early time of Grand Cathay, and just use the Bastion to get yourself some characters power leveled. Again, like I said, there can be a little bit of a bug. All you have to do is kind of click off and click back on. It kind of takes a while sometimes for the mechanic to show up, but yeah, it pops up, don't you worry. It's gonna happen with bugs, not just with mods, but vanilla. It's just one of these things. Doesn't make the mod less enjoyable, nor the game in general. A very important tip would be from turn 1, just getting that technology that gives you the resources. It's a little bit expensive, yes, but it's going to really help you get that momentum going, which I feel is what kind of Miao Ying suffers from. Same thing with Zhao Ming too. There's not a lot of momentum at the very beginning, where you do get that with other factions, especially with Yuan Bo. And again, with regards to the Storm Dragon decrees, yeah, like, believe me, it really does help being able to just use it to get into settlements quicker before they get sniped out. Keep in mind, this does make the Bastion kind of a bit more volatile, so you will deal with enemies just spawning up, which you can use just to snipe out. I've noticed, by the way, that the enemies attacking lately, this is also vanilla, they're not very active. They'll spawn in, and in other cases, maybe the Chaos Dwarfs or Village and stuff will go for them and take them out themselves. So they're getting experience too. That's why I'm saying leave armies there, because that's the last thing you want. But we're going to talk about just like a fresh campaign here, just to give you like my general experience. I like the base game Cathayan Lords as characters, I really do. Miao Yin and Zhao Ming are cool. I'm a big fan of Zhao Ming more than Miao. The problem is that they don't really have a lot to make them unique. Thankfully, we do have some mods, and you never know, Creative Assembly could be working on some sort of like rework for both of them, which would be absolutely lovely. But mods like these are quite good, especially when they take their lore into account, which really does help elevate them into a higher point. This is why a lot of people, including myself, keep on harping about unique mechanics for Grand Cathay. This is turn 27. I've captured quite a lot. Basically just pushing out. I've got 3 armies up there in the north holding down the line, because the bastions aren't too great until you start upgrading them a little bit, but you can use all those bonuses to kind of make them a lot more worth it. Lokira's gone, Snakeitch is gone. I'm starting to deal with that minor faction of Vampire Coast and pushing down to unify Grand Cathay, whilst also keeping my north secure without feeling that I need to go up north. This is a really weird campaign though, because Grimgor decided to go and deal with the Chaos Dwarfs rather than going down into the Mountains of Morn. You're gonna love how this game just kind of does that sometimes, where it's just like, oh, that's what they're doing now. But this is a fantastic mod, which I would highly recommend checking out on the Steam Workshop, which there is a link in the description below. The little that we do know of Miao Yin and the rest of the dragons, this is a very fun interpretation of their lore, and this is stuff that we need to see more often, right? I mean, we barely know much about Grand Cathay, and that I think is more to do with Games Workshop rather than Creative Assembly. But yeah, definitely check out this mod if you want a new experience with Miao Yin. It can be found in the description below. Let me know what your thoughts are in the comments below, and have a good day, everyone. I'm running around today because I've got a bunch of stuff to sort out, but maybe there'll be a painting stream or a building stream today. I've got like those brand new Skaven that GW sent me, and the square bases are calling. Have a good one, guys. Bye.